I just saw Saccharine. E.
Thinking of signing up to do this thing.
What thing?
Oh, just a gym program thing.
This movie has the potential to hit perfectly with somebody in a very, very specific mindset, in a very specific background. But it also has the potential to be incredibly damaging to someone in an incredibly similar headspace to the target demographic. I'm going to handle this a little differently than I normally do because there is such a sensitive topic at the root of this movie. So, yes, this is a movie about eating disorders presented as horror. And what I'm going to do is I'll walk through the basic premise of the movie, and then we're going to talk through my specific critiques and the movie's opinions on Fatness, so that all of the, specifically disordered stuff we talk about later. So if you just kind of want a general vibe check on the movie and like basically what happens without spoilers, we're going to do that. And then you can bounce, no judgment. This is a movie about a eating disorder ghost. So let's just be explicitly clear here. Saccharine is about a med student who is overweight, I guess. And by overweight, I mean they put fat suit jowls on a skinny lady. And then as she loses weight throughout the movie, they just put smaller and smaller jowl appliques on her until she's just skinny. She bumps into a friend from high school who used to be fatter than her and now is like snatched and looking great. And she's got this great pill that you can take and you lose so much weight so fast, but it's really expensive.
So mostly calcium phosphate.
What?
Human ash.
Problem is, she took the bones of a, say it with me folks, fat cadaver. That's right. She starts eating a dead fat woman who starts haunting her, and the dead fat woman's hungry. Welcome to Saccharine. She gets to her goal weight and stops taking the ash pills, and then the ghost is still there. And in fact, the ghost is getting stronger the more she eats and gets angrier when she doesn't eat, to the point where she starts blacking out and eating anything in the room that she can, even if it's not necessarily edible. So that's the plot in general of Saccharine. Note that I've moved in and am in more ominous lighting. It's because we got to talk about this movie's relationship to food and fatness and disordered eating. I normally don't spoil a lot in these parking lot videos, but I feel like as a fat person reviewing Saccharine, I have to talk about this because it's expected of me to talk about it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, oh, fat person watching Saccharine. Of course, you're going to have negative opinions about it. Or the other one, fat masculine person watching Saccharine. Of course, you didn't like it. It's a movie about how women experience fatness. And to that I say, fair. Yes, 110%. This is a movie about femininity. It has a lot of sapphicness in it because the main character is gay, which honestly, a lot of the points I'm giving this movie are because it is explicitly queer. So the mechanics of Saccharine are, if you eat the ashes of a dead person, they start haunting you. And at the beginning of the movie, when she eats the pill from the friend, it's just from a dead dude who whistles. So that's it. But when she starts eating the ashes of the fat cadaver who had an eating disorder, things go wrong pretty quickly. It's playing around with being one of those movies that's deep enough that you can start reading things into it. Like, her father has an eating disorder. Her father is morbidly obese and is the source of a lot of my problems with the movie. Here's a photo of the father I took in the theater. This is the closest to pirating a movie you will see on this channel, but I feel like you need to see the fat suit. Like, there's an argument to be made for the main actor having jowl fat suit stuff and like actual like stuffed clothing to make her look fat during the periods where she's fat before she starts losing a dangerous amount of weight. So I'm not going to complain about taking a skinny actor and making her play a little bit fatter, because the movie is about the disorder more than it is fatness. And I think that's actually kind of the problem for me, because it's a movie about binge eating. They name the cadaver Big Bertha. So for the majority of the movie, the ghost is known as Bertha until near the end she starts freaking out about she's losing too much weight and she can't stop because the calories are all going to the ghost. She finds out Bertha's actual name, Grace. She finds out Grace's actual name. And two things that really stuck with me that felt just really weird about how the movie is handling itself is she never calls the ghost Grace to its face. She calls it Bertha a couple times to its face. And she doesn't ever really communicate with it. There's a couple of times where she yells like stop and stuff like that, but she is a med student, and she is shown taking meticulous notes about this whole health experiment she's doing with the ash pills. And when she stops taking the pills, she keeps taking the notes purely for the sake that the movie doesn't want narration. And it's easy to just have her, a Quiet Place whiteboard style, just write out literally what's in her brain so that we can tell the audience this is what she's thinking. I got a problem with Grace, honestly. This movie doesn't have an opinion about fatness that I can find that is defensible. Obviously she stops taking the pills and she goes through a whole horror movie hallucination finale to make peace with Grace by cutting out part of her body that has developed the same tumor that ended up killing Grace, and she feeds it to Grace's ghost, which is rough imagery right there. But the thing is, Grace has been getting fatter the whole movie because literally all of the calories from her go to the ghost, and the ghost gets stronger. The ghost gets fatter. You know that Police Squad joke about the author's thinly disguised fetish? That might be in this movie. Now, there are a lot of shots of people eating in a binge eating-y way where it is not meant to be glamorous. I think it'll be easy for people on social media to say that footage is fetishy. I don't think it is. It does not come off as intended to be like that, and I don't think it's fit for purpose for people who get off to that. But what does happen a few times is, big fat ghost is gonna lay on top of her. Ooh, naked fat lady laying on top of protagonist. Ooh, she's gonna crush her because she's so fucking fat. Yeah. It thinks Grace being overweight is something that was out of her control and she should be pitied for. The main character being fat at the beginning of the movie and then losing that weight via supernatural means is never counterbalanced because she doesn't stop taking the pills and solve everything with Grace and then gain the weight back, which is what would happen. In fact, the end of the movie is she eats the gym rat. It has the laziest horror movie ending possible because it's like, everything's fixed. Everything's fine. She's made right with herself. Wow, she's still skinny? ? Weird. And then she goes back to the gym rat's apartment and apologizes for the third act breakup. And then they start making out and they're gonna bone, but the music from when things are going bad comes back. Hard cut. The gym rat's laid out on the couch and her chest is open and her organs are spilling out. She's relapsed. Whoa, the ghost isn't actually gone. End of movie. Watch Saccharine, but Saccarine's not a fun horror movie. It's in a weird place where it doesn't necessarily... Yes, it's a horror movie because it talks about really dark concepts and concepts that eke a lot of people out, but it's not like a real, scary horror movie because there's not any jump scares that I remember. There's a few times where, Grace is there, but you can't see her because you'd only see Grace in convex mirrors, a rule I really like. So then she's got to get a spoon out, and then it'll show the spoon, and there's a little, she's right there. they dehumanize Grace as much as possible. And then near the end of the movie, when she's like full evil, she's like unhinging her jaw, and she's just she looks like a big thumb. And they always make sure titty is in frame. So it's like, oh, she's fat and naked. She's so disgusting. Oh, the more I talk about the movie, the more it's like, damn, that sucked. It's complicated. It's really complicated because it's not complicated. There's not a lot going on with it. I think it wants to be a lot more complicated than it actually is. It is a movie designed to bounce around film festival circuits. We just got lucky enough that it got a wide distribution deal with Shudder. And in a way, that's exactly why I'm glad Saccharine exists. It's got a lot of faults. It feels really icky and weird in places, in ways that it didn't mean to. It feels icky and weird in a few scenes where it does mean to, and genuinely is entertaining in those scenes. But this is the kind of horror movie you're not gonna get a wide release of a lot. I do not think Saccharine will still be showing here 2 weeks from now. If it is, I'll be genuinely shocked. I don't think Saccharine sucks, but I think it will suck for a lot of people. I think it's a very complicated movie for the very specific audience, and it's hard to get people to that audience, or it's hard to get that movie to its intended audience in a way that makes it money, and it isn't just losing money showing to screenings of one, like me. I was in a screening of one in the smallest screen in my theater. But that'll do it. There's a car coming up behind me. Maybe I'm getting arrested for filming this in a parking lot. We'll find out. But until then, thank you for supporting what I do by watching this far. If you want more, you can go to patreon.com/GavinGWiz. And if you like what I do, you can follow for free to be able to vote. And whenever I put up polls, it's a truck. I don't know what's happening. You can vote in polls for what cheap DVDs I watch in a given week. And then I'll do little reviews about those. I'm currently 2 behind, but it's because I have plans on how to cover them. I promise it's going to be worth the wait. And I've also got some really good long form videos. It sucks how long it's going to take to make these things because I want to fucking show you. I got some really good video ideas. I got some really good podcast ideas. You can follow on Patreon for free to support. You can also pay on Patreon to support what I'm doing to help offset the cost of going to all these movies and getting all of these Mandalorian Grogu popcorn buckets. This is the one that comes with the popcorn. I didn't pay for it. If you're considering going to a theater near you this weekend while Mandalorian Grogu is out, be really nice to your theater workers. I just went to see a not Star Wars movie at my AMC, and every single employee, except for like one, was on popcorn bucket making duty because they expect to sell every goddamn Grogu popcorn bucket they got. I can see the 1,000-yard stare already forming in their eyes. Those people are in for some shit tomorrow. But maybe they'll have some fun. You should make it more fun by being nice to them. Tip them if you can.